Hello, everybody. My name is Cayenne.
I'm Jazzy.
My little sister. So we have a very rare condition called BPES, and we wanted to start making videos talking about our experience with it, doing makeup,
some
tips and advice,
some dating, and some just everything.
We just want to start some conversations about our condition because we haven't really found a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's pretty much like
it.
Nobody who's really doing anything online with it, so
yeah, and
we are.
Yeah, like I just think it would be really fun to kind of start a conversation. Like we want this to be a really interactive experience. We want you to comment. We want to like hear what you have to say.
Experiences.
We want to connect with you guys. Like it's honestly been so amazing connecting with other people with BPES online. I've made some really good friendships and stuff. So we just want to like have a supportive community, you know, and like spread some positivity. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we're doing just a little like chit chat, get ready with us, makeup kind of thing.
Crazy, but
yeah. So if you want to
keep on watching,
what she said. So BPES stands for. Do you know what it stands for, Jazzy?
I actually do not. And
really?
I'm being actually super serious when I say that. People are always like, "Oh, what are your eyes?" And I'm like,
"You're like, I don't fucking know."
No, I don't know.
I have to believe that.
Swear. Yeah, I was just like BPS, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah. So BPS stands for. Listen to this. Remember it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Blepharophimosis, ptosis, epicanthus inversus syndrome.
That's not a fucking mouthload, I don't know.
I know. And these are the features and characteristics of it.
Right here, guys.
Right here. It's right here. Your phone doesn't like. Okay. BPES is a rare developmental condition affecting the eyelids and ovary. Typically, 4 major facial features are present at birth: narrow eyes, droopy eyelids, an upward fold of skin of the inner lower eyelids, and widely set eyes. These features cause difficulty in opening the eyes fully and may affect an individual's quality of vision. BPS type 1 involves premature ovarian insufficiency in females as well as the characteristic facial features, whereas BPS type 2 is characterized by these facial features alone. Potential treatments include corrective eyelid surgery, hormone replacement therapy for premature ovarian insufficiency, and embryo/egg donation for consequent problems with fertility.
There you have it, folks.
Do you want to talk about surgery a little bit?
I thought we were going to talk about surgery.
So surgery is very common for people with BPS. We have never had it, and I don't plan to. I don't think you do, right? Sometimes it's necessary if your eyelid covers your pupil enough that you can't see properly. However, our vision has not been affected. Our eyes opening is good enough so that we can see. So we
I've chosen not to go there.
Yeah, and we can't really even though surgery is a very common topic, it's not something that we can really talk about.
On it. Our mom had the surgery, but
and her grandpa did too.
It was just so long ago.
Okay,
that I don't think
started here.
The results that she had are like literally nothing compared to what.
Yeah, so we just don't really know what's
maybe?
out there. We don't know what the types of surgery are. We don't know we just can't really speak about it. Although I would like to maybe do some research and find some more information about it. It would maybe be a good topic for a future video. Excuse you.
Sorry, guys.
Childhood experience.
Here we go. We grew up on a small little remote island that we won't disclose.
Good job.
And I feel like that.
Can I have some blush?
Yeah, I feel like that made things growing up as little ones just.
It was easy because everyone knew us and they knew our family,
and everybody
and it wasn't
here
really
is weird, and everyone has their own thing going on, so it's nobody really cared. But I think it was just when we moved to town.
We moved into a bigger city, and I was 8 and she was 5. And I think that's the first time that I really realized that I was different from other people.
Yeah,
I
think I was too young to really give a shit.
Don't swear.
Sorry.
We'll have to like learn how to bleep, but
yeah.
Yeah, and it was a very odd experience to be made to feel so different.
Yeah.
It made me very like self-aware and
because I didn't feel like growing up, like when I was young, I like did not think I was really different, and I didn't really care, and like I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird to like.
Well, also
feel like I was.
I should have mentioned this before, but BPS can either be passed down through families, or it can pop up as a random genetic mutation. So if you have BPS, if one of us were to have a child, we would have a 50% chance of passing the condition on to our child. So for us in our family, as we mentioned before, we have other people in our family who have it. And I think that was a big help for us to feel
100%.
less alone in the world. And at least, even if like we're different from other people, like we have our tribe, we have our family that we look like. So I do really feel for people who...
Yeah, I have a friend in California, and he's a rando. Like, he doesn't have any family with it, and it's just, like...
Yeah. Oh, I need to get
crazy,
started here.
Yeah, dude, I'm, like...
Yeah, you're just going for it.
That.
I think that, even in childhood, even though I never faced a lot of bullying, I think I just didn't really let people bully me. And it didn't affect me so much personally, like, when people would make comments. Like, oh, like, what's wrong with your eyes? And people would always call me, like, Asian eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was, like, frustrating, but it didn't really bother me that much. But, like, when people made fun of you or made you feel bad, I was,
Mama
like...
bear kicks in.
Literally, I would rage. I would just be so mad. It's weird how it's, like...
There was these boys in elementary school. When, like, we only went to the same school for, like, a year or two, but there was these boys who... would always come up to me and like hold like their fingers up and be like, "How many fingers are you holding up?
Like, are you blind?"
God, it's so fucking funny. Like, this one over here would just get absolutely riled.
Oh yeah, do you remember that one time they were like bugging you and they're like, "How many fingers am I holding up? You can't even see because you're blind." And I walked up to that boy. I'm like, "Oh, you poor boy. Did your mommy never teach you how to count? So that's 1, 2, 3. Now you don't have to go around asking other people." And that shut him up. He got kind of embarrassed.
Yeah, that did the trick.
But it's funny because I would never have that confidence, like, for myself. It was only ever for you.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think personally that early high school was the worst for me. I think that was when my self-confidence was, like... pretty garbage. And it was when I strongly considered surgery.
Bad, like, literally regardless of your situation and, like, just anything, grade 8's not gonna be good for you.
Yeah, right? So, like, it's gonna be awkward regardless, but I feel like when
you're different. And I went to, like, a really preppy school in grade 8, too. So...
Where did you go?
Isfeld.
Oh, yeah.
So...
And yeah, it gets very like cliquey, and it's when you really start to like pay more attention to your appearance. Exactly. You start experimenting with makeup.
That's when I started wearing makeup, yeah, because I felt so... I literally never wanted to wear makeup before, and then as soon as I went in grade 8, I felt like almost obligated to. Yeah. I was like, do I have to do this? Like...
Well, and this is why I really want to try and make more makeup videos and stuff, because like I didn't have anyone to tell me how to do it. No one in our family really wore makeup, right?
Because if I had this to watch when I was younger, I would have been
so happy.
Fix my posture. High school, as soon as I was like, I think grade 10 and on, absolutely fine. Like, I literally did. Yeah, nobody gave a flying fuck. They didn't care. They didn't care. Nobody cared. And
it was the same for me too. It's just like grade 8 and 9.
I was at a good school and I had good friends, and like just honestly nobody, I don't know. It just wasn't a concern.
And it's like once you find your tribe and your group of people,
and once people are used to seeing your face, it's so much less.
Yeah, I have people tell me, like, good friends or even people I've dated, they say that they just like stop seeing it after a while, and they don't even like, it doesn't even like register until we're out and like, is that a truck going very slow?
That's the guy who came and said hi the other day.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he's gonna come say hi again. We have a friend, guys. A visitor.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, people like stop noticing it after a while.
Yeah.
And then
honestly,
it's like weird
later
when
on, like grade 10, 11, 12 was like super fun, and like it just was not even an issue in my life at all, really.
Well, I was we didn't know the name of our condition growing up. None of our family did. It was only when I was 16 that we figured it out, and it was super random. I don't even really remember how we came. I think it was our mom.
I feel intimidated.
You feel intimidated
about my makeup right now?
I feel like I'm doing an awful job.
No, I love that you just went for it. I'm like scared.
Just go for it. Just do it. Just do it. Our mom just found something online. I don't even remember exactly what it was.
Like, it was a blog.
Yeah, it was just some random thing, and then then I found the Facebook group, and oh my god, that was like incredible for me.
Literally heaven.
It like opened up our whole world, because we didn't even know if like anyone else had the condition. We just called it Bradley eyes because that was our last name. Yeah, so we were like, oh, maybe we're the only people ever with this.
Yeah, I seriously thought that when I was younger.
That's what I did too. And I think it also made it hard growing up, like just not having an explanation for it. When people would ask you, why do you look like that? We didn't really have anything to say. We're just like, oh, we're just like born like this. It's just the way that we are.
Exactly. And then people would just be like, well, you're obviously Asian then if you don't have any.
Yeah, people just like would try and convince me that I'm Asian. I'm like, I know that I'm not.
I'm pretty sure I would know my background. Just like, thank you for.
Oh my god, one guy, I was trying to do the whole explanation thing. And it's just a random person who like was talking to me in the grocery store or something, which happens sometimes, which is super weird. People just like come up to you and be like, why do you look like that? I'm like, maybe I don't want to have this conversation right now, and I'm just trying to buy my dinner. Maybe I just want to
buy my groceries. Like,
honestly. And he's like, oh, you look Asian though. I'm like, I'm not. And he's like, is your mom Asian? I'm like, no. He's like, is your dad Asian? I'm like, no. He's like, are your grandparents Asian? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, your dad or your mom must have had an affair with a Japanese man then. I'm like, no, that's not what happened.
He's so weird. But to be fair, I've also had so many people come up to me and be like, your eyes are so beautiful.
Yeah,
there's it evens out. Or honestly, there's probably more positive than negative, I feel like.
I mean, nowadays, I love my eyes so much, and I wouldn't change them if I could. You know, like, it's just becomes, it's such a part of me, like, I don't know, and it can be hard sometimes.
My little friend is
coming?
Is he coming?
We're like, hi, we're just doing your makeup.
Just talking to ourselves.
No big deal. Yeah, like how we've grown to appreciate our eyes.
Yeah, because if I had the option, I would not. Like, even if I could go.
Yeah, if I could, like, snap my fingers and have normal eyes, I wouldn't.
Yeah, neither.
Not anymore. I definitely would have when I was younger. Like, I remember being, like, 13 years old and just, like, crying because I just desperately wanted to be normal. And I know, right? And I, like, hated the way that I looked so much that I just, like, would do anything. And I would bug mom and be like, I just want surgery so bad. And this is what she always said to me. She's like, tell me every month for a year that you want surgery. And if by the end of that, if by the end of it, you still want it, then we'll do it. And I'm so grateful that she did it, because now, like, I would have totally regretted it if I got surgery, because I don't actually need it. It's just, like, for aesthetic reasons, right? And it's like, I don't want to change myself if I don't actually have a reason to.
Being born unique is, like, such a blessing.
It is. Like, it's, I don't know, it's something that I've really grown to appreciate, but it took me a lot of time to get there, for sure. I feel like these wings are so uneven.
Yeah, I'm getting there right now.
Can I see it? You're doing great. Oh, that's actually really beautiful. Did you just use eyeshadow?
That's really beautiful. Thank you.
It looks so very nice. Did you just use eyeshadow for the line?
Yes.
I like the sparkly. What I don't like is the male attention. I get very objectified and sexualized because it's like, oh, you're exotic and you're different, but I think you're hot. So they kind of get some weird, like, fantasy in their head about me. It happens all the time. That
hasn't happened to me.
Really?
No, I don't think that's ever happened to me.
No, I have people like just like come up to me like in public and make some like sexual comment to me that is related to my eyes.
That's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, and it's like okay, like it's cool that you think my eyes are beautiful, but it's like I don't necessarily want or appreciate that attention. Yeah. So that would definitely be a con for me. Another con. Beautiful. Sorry. Another con, I think, it's kind of minor to me, but it's like how we have to use our eyebrow muscles to hold our eyes up.
I didn't know that.
Well, if you relax your eyebrows, you know?
They just close.
They just close, yeah. So it's like, for BPS, you don't have much eyelid muscle. So,
I guess that makes sense, hey?
Yeah, so you have eyebrow muscles here that hold your eyes up. So I find I don't notice it on a day-to-day basis, but if I'm like really tired, like say I'm like in a night class and I'm like taking notes and stuff, I'll find it's like hard to keep my eyes open. Yeah. So it's like when you're tired and you're already all drowsy, it just feels like
noticed that.
Yeah,
I was actually I think I was telling Drew that the other day when we had to wake up super early, and I was like, my eyes are just like literally not staying open right now. Like,
right?
They're just.
I know.
I feel like I need to go crazier.
Do a big red lip. Can you do a red lip?
I'm definitely doing a red lip.
Okay, good.
I kind of want to do a red lip now, so I feel inspired to
do
be
it
crazier.
I was thinking about just putting on my purple lipstick right now.
Right. So pros and cons for me. I haven't had that experience really at all, honestly.
That's good to hear.
Back.
Hey, buddy.
My little friend. I think his name is Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to hear you haven't had that.
Yeah. I don't know. My eyes get really dry.
Oh yeah, they get so dry. Oh my god, and they get so watery. Like I'll do a full face of like awesome makeup.
That's why I suppose I should continue here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do like a full face of like perfect makeup, just like fierce ass, like awesome eyeliner. And then the second I like step outside, my eyes are just like, and it's like gets just to be a mess. That's annoying.
I know, dude. Having watery eyes is like one of the worst things ever. It's so annoying.
I would say another like, it's like a pro and a con at the same time.
You don't have lip liner, do you?
No, I don't.
It's so much easier.
No. Yeah, a pro and a con, like, together would be, because I'm mistaken for being Asian so often, I really understand, I feel, racism towards Asians in a empathetic way that perhaps other white people wouldn't, because I'm perceived as that. So, like, I've had more men in the grocery store. I don't know why that happens so much. This one guy came up to me.
Men in the fucking
literally, yeah, this one guy came up to me. He was behind me in the checkout line, and he turned to me, and he's like, I like Asian women because they're submissive in bed and they don't talk back to you. And I'm like, he literally said that. And I was like, what do you say? I'm like, okay. Ew. Thank you for that information.
Excuse yourself, maybe? Like,
yeah, like so uncalled for. So it's like, it's a con because I experience racism in this way. I have a lot of judgments and assumptions made about me because of the way that I look. But I would call it a positive in the sense that I have a lot of empathy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really want to, like, even though I am privileged as a white person and I have that privilege, I want to try and, like, I don't know, use my personal experience to help others or understand them better, if that makes sense. You should wear red lipstick more. It looks so good on you. Even. It really suits you with your red hair.
It's kind of fun.
Alright, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to put on the purple lipstick.
Feeling like a bit of a sassy lady right now.
You're always a sassy lady. Okay.
Dating. Let's start talking about dating, because dating's more fun than not.
I want to think of any other pros and cons before we, like, move on.
There's so many pros.
Finding the BPS community is the biggest pro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's really hard to talk while you're putting on lipstick.
Dude,
There's so many absolutely wonderful, beautiful, inside and out people that I've met because I have this condition.
I know, it's
like,
wild.
Yeah, like, it's just so nice to, like, have other people that really understand you. They can't just sympathize, but they can fully empathize with your experience, you know? Any other pros or cons you can think of?
I think standing out and being unique and looking different is like the biggest pro ever.
And you know what?
Because I don't know.
I think it's really freeing. Because for me, it's like, I'm going to be noticed anyway. I'm going to be looked at. So the way I think it, I'm like, may as well really give someone something to look at, you know? Like, the makeup that I wear, the color of my hair and everything, you know? It's like, I don't care. I'm going to be stared at anyway. May as well just like, and it's very freeing, you know, to just not care.
Yeah.
And it's like annoying in the sense that you can't really turn it off. You can't just choose to blend in. If you're like sick and feeling gross and you're like going to the store to get like NyQuil or something and you just don't really want to have that attention, it's hard. But most of the time it's honestly wonderful.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Let's get to dating.
Dating.
It has only ever been a positive for me, dating.
Right? 100%, yeah. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of a nice, my overall opinion on it is that it filters out all the all the not fun ones that we don't want to be with anyway.
All the bad folks.
All the bad folks.
It's true. You could tell right away, yeah.
If they're that judgmental that they're not gonna, if they're gonna judge you for that one reason and nothing else.
My favorite people are the ones who don't even mention it. Like,
right?
I was dating this one guy and it was like weeks and weeks into dating and I realized he'd never even like asked me about my eyes. And I was like, hey, like, have you noticed the way that I look? Do you have any questions about it? He's like, oh, sure. He's just like, it didn't matter to me at all and it didn't really feel like it was my place. Like, I felt like if you wanted to talk about it, you could. Like, it's just like so didn't matter to him and he didn't care at all.
Yeah,
that's kind of nice.
For sure.
I appreciate when I talk to someone for the first time and my eyes aren't the first thing people use as a conversation starter.
Like, so more than like,
yeah, and it's just like, not that important to me.
They're like not like, as far as being different, like it's
not that
literally like not even that much of a difference.
Yeah, and like I'll have that conversation with people just fine. Like I'm not unfriendly or whatever, but it's just like I've had the same conversation like 50 trillion times in my life.
Exactly. I'm sure everyone with eyes can sympathize with that. Like, it's just you've had the conversation so many times.
It's just like it's so boring to me. I want to have a more interesting conversation. Like, ask me about my interests, my hobbies. Like, I don't know, like
really anything else.
But I'm just bored with it. But I understand that people are just curious. Most people don't have like any sort of negative intentions or anything like that. They're just curious, and that's okay.
They just want to know.
I feel like I should really do my eyebrows. Oh, that's another con.
Oh, big con. I'm sure everyone who has
BPES eyebrows
can sympathize. They are a struggle.
It's a struggle.
A serious struggle.
Mine are still, like, I mostly plucked them all the way off when I was in high school because I couldn't deal, and they've never really grown back. So they're just very, like, they can just grow in very thick and bushy and, like, sad looking, where they just, like, droop
they're
down.
Really sad. They just, like, droop down your face.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck.
I've had periods where I just, like, shave my eyebrows off and, like, draw them in a totally different way, which is great when you're doing makeup, but then when you're not, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dating. I held back from dating when I was, like, young, and I felt that a lot of the reason was because of my eyes. That's why I kind of wanted to talk about it. I felt like I wasn't going to be, I felt like nobody was gonna love me.
Yeah, honestly, you kind of felt the same.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I felt like I was too weird and all the other girls are so pretty.
Exactly. I was like, why would they choose me if there's like...
Yeah, why would they choose me over other people?
If they
but then I realized it's like... Oh, you wouldn't want to date someone who was only interested in you for your appearance anyway.
Exactly.
Obviously. Like... I just realized I've never addressed the fact that my hand is bright pink.
Honestly, I feel like if people thought about it for like 0.2, they could probably put like, 2 and 2 together. Like,
can I see what you're doing? I wish you would wear makeup more. It's cute. It's such a vibe. Especially with like the lips in this, you look like a 50s housewife or something.
That's what I aspire to be, a 50s housewife.
No, it's not actually.
Yeah, actually, reverse.
Like, look at my shirt.
Yeah, probably not. I just don't really know. I'm gonna add some fake freckles.
Do it.
Get a little extra crazy up in here, guys. Dating. Yeah, I found in like high school, it wasn't that I like didn't date, but I think it was like, I don't know, it was slightly weirder in high school. Like I think younger boys just like are just weirder.
Yeah.
In general about that type of thing. But I feel like high school dating, regardless of like anything, is just always weird.
That's also the thing, is like it's hard to tell what is our experience because of our eyes and what is our experience just it's normal. You know, like everyone has their things that they feel insecure about and that they think other people are noticing so much, but it's actually not really a big deal. Like we all have that. Ours is maybe just a little bit more like pronounced.
Exactly.
Oh, another thing I didn't mention. The condition is extremely rare. It affects approximately 1 in 50,000 people.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, see, that's so dope.
But here's the thing I think about. If it can both be a random mutation and passed down through families, I feel like the numbers of people with BPS is going to steadily increase. Slowly.
Yeah.
If you think about it, a random mutation, then they have children who have BPS, and then they have children. So I feel like with time, it may become something that's a little bit better known. I think maybe that's another con is the fact that literally no doctor I've ever been to even knows what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you would think at least your doctor would know.
Yeah, and it's hard because there are, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's like real health concerns. Like there's the 2 types, and type 1 is also associated with premature infertility. And it would be horrible, even though I think our family has type 2. Pretty sure we've never had any like genetic testing, but everyone seems to be able to have children just fine.
Yeah. Well, not just fine, but
yeah, but
fine enough.
Yeah. So I think that if you don't know, if you lack very important information about your own health because it's too rare for it to even be known by medical professionals,
then yeah,
that's messed up.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, I've literally had doctors like go on their computer or phone and like Google it while I'm talking.
Yeah, see, that's, yeah.
Isn't that wild? I have such a weird relationship with makeup. I definitely used it in, like, at the height of my insecurity when I was about, like, 12, 13, 14. I would use it. Did you
wear makeup then?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
That's when I started wearing it.
Oh.
Wasn't very good at it. Do you remember the, like, black, just, like, the thick black, like, everywhere?
Oh, gosh.
Well, I was just trying to hide it, essentially, and I had really long bangs like this, and I wore really, really dark makeup all the time, because I wanted to, like, cover and hide my eyes. But now I feel like I do the exact opposite. Like, I use makeup to, like, accentuate my eyes, and I love experimenting with looks and being able to do things that people with normal eyes just, like, can't do.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, I love your makeup, how'd you do it? I'm like, well, step 1, start with a very rare condition. Oh, here's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to give some, like, support and solidarity and validation to I mean anyone, but especially younger people who are really struggling to accept themselves and are dealing with things like bullying and...
Because it's awful. It's
it's rough.
It's like the worst thing, honestly.
It's scarring. It's like, it's traumatizing and emotionally damaging, and it can be really hard to recover from. And I feel like a lot of people with our condition just carry that burden all their lives. Because it's really hard to accept yourself when the world doesn't accept you. You what?
I did lower mascara. Oh boy.
I think it looks fine.
We're going.
I think it looks fine. I know sometimes it looks great on me, and then sometimes it just looks like I don't know if I've ever actually done that. So yeah, like, what advice or kind words would you have for somebody who's experiencing that?
I know it's such a typical thing to say. Like, I feel like everyone says this regardless of your situation, but it gets better. Like, it seriously does.
It does.
And, like, just make the best of it and just be you and be authentic and, like, just live it up. And it seriously gets better.
Being an adult is an entirely different experience.
Oh, big time.
People just don't care at all. Like they do, but it's not the same way as it is in school. School is the absolute worst time that you're going to go through in your life.
100%.
And it sucks when you're still so young and your brain is developing and you don't really have the skills or tools or the perspective.
All your hormones are just going crazy.
Yeah, like you can't, looking back from it now, it feels so different than actually living in it. When you're living in it, it feels like that's going to be your life forever and nothing's going to change and you're never going to find your people and you're never going to be accepted and you're never going to date, you know, like it feels so huge.
Yeah.
But you learn tools for handling these difficult things and you will find your people. Like, I guarantee you will find your people. It might take a little bit of time. It might be difficult. You might have to let go of some relationships that aren't serving you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's such a big thing.
Yeah.
Don't force it because it's...
Yeah, and don't try and conform or change yourself for other people. You know, like, be fiercely and authentically yourself. It's guaranteed that some people aren't gonna get it. Some people are gonna think you're weird. And you know what? Being weird is so okay. Being weird is great. We're such weirdos.
The night before we filmed, it was like, okay, we need to have a little dance party.
Yeah, honestly. I'm so happy that we both have BPES. It would be weird if
it would be
one of us
really
did.
weird, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Cheesy and corny, but it gets better. And
Honestly.
You have us.
Right?
And we love and accept you no matter what.
Please reach out. Honestly,
Please reach out. We need to start like an Instagram or something.
Warm my entire heart, even just getting one message. Like there's this one little girl, Mackenzie, shout out girl, hey. And when I found her on Instagram, she literally like commented on my shit and stuff. Oh, so cute.
And you know what? Another thing about
it's just like so.
I think that having these difficult experiences early in life, even though it sucks,
bad.
A cool person. They do. Yeah. It's like everyone that I meet with BPES, even though it's mostly been online except for my one friend, but like they're the most empathetic, kind, compassionate people. They like it's like if you've experienced suffering, you don't want anyone else to feel that. Exactly. You know? So you have so much empathy for other people.
One thing I want to talk about is how like even though this is such a small little thing, it makes you have so much more empathy and sympathy for people who are struggling with way bigger differences.
Well, that's like what I was talking about with like the racism thing.
Yeah.
But even like all types of different issues. I have such like strong feelings of wanting justice, you know?
I know, me too.
I think that's a really beautiful thing, even though it sucks that it takes these experiences to like get there. It's too bad.
Yeah.
But it's all about perspective. You can use your experience to become a better person, to help other people. Like what we're doing now.
Exactly.
It feels really nice, you know? It's a good feeling. You know what I was thinking I want to try so badly? I've seen this. It's what drag queens use, but it's like facelift tape, so you like put it here, and then it goes like this.
I feel like that would make you look like such a... Whoa. Your face like already kind of is like that, but it like.
But it just makes it look. I look like some like a elf or something. But also, I was thinking if you're going out partying or something, you don't want to struggle with using your eyebrows to hold up your eyes. Just like tape them open. I think it would work.
It's true. Whenever I drink, I always my
eyes
just like close.
I love like pictures of us when we're drunk and we both look like we're asleep. Another thing I wanted to say is we want to keep making videos.
Oh yeah. So if you have any ideas,
yeah, anything you want to see,
send them our way, please.
Oh my god, it's so weird. Send them our way, please.
Send them our way.
Yeah, we want to hear
honestly, yeah, and if you
your questions, comments, things that you want to see.
Yeah.
We want to be here as a support system for people who need it. Even if you don't have BPS and you're like, what the heck, I never heard of that before. I want to know more about it.
Know more.
We are here
We
to
are
provide.
your ladies for your questions.
Falsies are... Oh, that's a negative for me is the fact that I have like 3 eyelashes.
True. Eyelashes and eyebrows are like really slacking, honestly. Like, especially because I'm a ginger, so I have like such blonde hairs and they're just like non-existent, honestly. But that's fine. It's a different kind of beauty.
What do you think?
Love it. Wow, it just matches your hair like way too good.
I know, that was entirely on purpose.
I know. Yeah. It looks really dope.
Okay. I think that's it, right? You look so beautiful. I forgot to wear the earrings that you made me. She made me really beautiful little earrings that had squids on them, and I forgot to wear it.
You literally just had them in.
I know. Oh, okay. That's I love sad. You so much.
I love you.
And I love all of you. A beautiful little BPS family.
Honestly. Even if you don't have BPS, we still love you.
We still love you.
We still love you.
Okay. Doop, doop, doop. All good? Okay. Bye.